Hi everyone, welcome to highlights and analysis for the final race of the 2021 Super League Championship Series in Malibu. The race would be over the eliminator format, 3 triathlons of a 300 metre swim, 4k bike and 1.6k run with a short break in between each. At various points in the race, athletes in last position would be eliminated, as denoted by the little numbers here next to each discipline. There's been a 90-second elimination rule in effect all series, so in all honesty I was not expecting the eliminations to have much of an impact on the racing, particularly towards the front where 5 athletes have been head and shoulders above the rest so far. The winner would be the one to cross the finish line first in the final stage. As long as you don't get eliminated in stages 1 and 2, the positions in these races don't really matter. There would be short shoots available for the first athlete through the swim and transition and bike and transition in stage 1. There would also be more points on offer for the championship standings in Malibu than in previous races, meaning if any of the top 4 were to win in Malibu, it would give them a very good chance of winning overall, especially as Christian Blumenfeld and Gustav Iden had been thrown into the mix for this race and would therefore be looking to take out some of the top positions. Whew, a lot of admin there, let's get on with the race. It'd be a beach start and sea swim for the first time this series. The wave direction relative to the first buoy meant that those starting on the right hand side here definitely had a bit of an advantage. We can see Louis having to swim almost parallel to the shore to get in position for the first buoy. As we've seen all series, Hauser managed to get himself to the front again despite starting near Louis on the left. As we came towards the end of the swim, a huge wave ripped the field in half. Probably not a coincidence that 2 Aussies, Hauser and Royal, managed to surf this the best and get catapulted up the beach. Up until this point, everyone was grouped together, but the wave really did a number on those in the back half. Hauser and Royal are neck and neck, but Royal struggles with his helmet for a moment too long and Hauser just pips him to the first short shoot and also the swim leader's jersey for the series that will give him a nice little 20k bonus. You can see on the time splits the effect that wave had, everyone behind Van Riel coming up in the region of 20 to 25 seconds down. Nothing too concerning for Velasser, Brownlee, Yee, Wild and Blumenfeld here, as they just have to ensure they were not in the last position after the bike or the run laps to avoid eliminations. It would however take them out of contention for that second short shoot. The bike course in Malibu was a lot less technical than the other races so far in the series, with a couple of quite long straights making it advantageous for once to be in a decent pack. Velasser makes a big push to bridge across to those out front that are on the right side of the wave, burning a couple of matches to put himself in contention for the next short shoot, whereas Wild, Brownlee, Yee and Blumenfeld opted against this strategy. Meanwhile, Kenji Nina suffered a mechanical early in the bike, gutted for him as he's had great performances in Munich and Jersey. Velasser, Van Riel and Ryder come into transition first, but it's Usain Van Riel who just outdips Ryder to take the second short shoot. It's not too bad for Ryder though, as he takes the bike points jersey and 20k as well. The leaders are 40 seconds ahead of the back at this point, so they should just be able to take it nice and steady to the finish and save themselves for the next stage. It appears there's no word in the Norwegian dictionary for steady though, as Blumenfeld flies onto the run at a far higher pace than anyone else. He takes a meaningless stage 1 win completely uncontested. Behind there is a bit of a sprint finish. There are team and run jersey points on offer, and I guess also a chance to get a feel for the sprint if it comes down to one in stage 3. Louis must have had some sweat in his eyes coming around this corner, as we got these incredible pictures of him from the sprint. Wild beats out Louis and takes a run jersey and 20k for himself as well. None of the big names are eliminated, so no huge drama as we head to stage 2. Stage 2 would very much be a formality for the vast majority of these athletes. No short shoots or points on offer, so it'd just be a case of staying upright and out of the elimination spots. The selection gets made pretty early on, with Toth, Hauser, Moeller and Burt whistle off the back and looking in danger of being eliminated. Velasser ends up on the front, pushing fairly hard though. As they come onto the run, it's Moeller that gets eliminated, with 4 others 25 to 40 seconds back. At this point, everyone in this lead pack is safe for this stage, so it makes absolutely no sense to put out any more effort than needed. I think this is what Brownlee is trying to get across here. We still see Blumenfeld, Brownlee and Velasser going way faster than they need to though. I know they're world-class athletes with great endurance, but if you get the opportunity to recover just that bit extra by running 10 seconds per k slower, you've got to be missing a few brain cells not to take it. I'll let Blumenfeld off though, as I'm pretty sure he's just here for a televised interval session. Everyone finally works out that they can relax about 200 metres from the line, and they all come across the line jogging. Into the final stage, Van Riel is firmly in the driving seat. Something would have to go very wrong for him not to come off of the bike with the leaders, and he would then have a short shoot to use in the final run. Louis manages to get a bit of a gap in the swim, but again the waves play their part, catapulting Van Riel and Reed up with him. I think this actually plays into Louis' favour though, as it gives him 2 athletes to work with on the bike. These 3 get a bit of a gap early on in the bike, and on any of the other bike courses in the series, this might have been enough for them to get away and take a few seconds onto the run. But on the less technical course, and with Blumenfeld on the front of the pack behind, that gap looks vulnerable. Halfway through the bike, all of the big names are together in the lead pack. Eden is just off the back here. He had been off the pace in the previous 2 stages, and I was wondering if he was just playing it smart until the final stage, but it looks as though he just didn't have it coming off of the 70.3 Worlds. Van Riel, Louis, Yee, Wild, Brownlee, Velasquez and Blumenfeld are all off the bike together, meaning the race in the series would be decided over the final 1.6k run. Over the first 800 metres, Velasquez, Van Riel, Wild and Blumenfeld just get a little gap over Yee, Brownlee and Louis. Yee manages to bridge across by the end of lap 1, but Louis and Brownlee look like they're going to struggle to get back to the front. Van Riel uses his short shoot on the second lap. You'll notice the short shoot is mid-lap in this race rather than right at the finish line like in Munich or Jersey, which I think is far better for the racing. When the short shoot is at the finish, it puts the onus on the athletes without the short shoot to make the move, with the short shoot holder having the slightly easier job of just having to cover the moves. Whereas here, Van Riel gets an advantage, but he still has to have the mental and physical strength to hold on for another 600 metres or so, with the others having a target to chase. Van Riel tries to surge, but he doesn't look to have another gear above what he was already running in, and Wild is doing a good job of keeping him within reach. Van Riel looks over his shoulder at the turn about 300 metres from the finish, which is never a good sign. It's hard to put your finger on it with Van Riel. He's a phenomenal athlete, but you never quite get the feeling that he's going to win. Coming to the final 150 metres, through a number of twists and turns, it looks to be a race between Yee and Wild for the series. I think Yee deserves a lot of credit for the way he handles these turns. He did a similar thing in Jersey last weekend in the sprint finish. He very rarely takes the shortest route around these corners, instead taking the racing line, coming wide into the corner, cutting the apex, and then immediately getting himself into position to take the person ahead of him on their inside. He does it on all 3 of these final corners, carrying his speed through the turns better than everyone else. Van Riel has a bit of a stumble in the final few steps, and Yee takes a tape. Van Riel 2nd, Wild 3rd, Velasquez 4th, Blumenfeld 5th, Louis 6th and Brownlee 7th. Yee also wins the series overall, taking a nice cool 100k. Wild takes 2nd overall and Brownlee 3rd. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the Super League videos over the past month. If you did, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you for the next race.